Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for October 10th, 2016. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Price continues to coil up significantly within the apex of this larger pattern. Again, it's still back and forth within this range. 21.72 as low as 21.35, and right now that's the trading range. And we could continue to see this play out for a while until we see expansion. So again, from a swing basis, nothing really much to do at the moment. We are right at the center of a larger range from 2190 to 2100, and this range is built out since the beginning of July. So now we are at the middle of October. We've continued to build out, and really at some point we may see a move to the extreme of the range, but even if we do, the expectation is likely for a fade back to the middle once we get out to that edge, at least early on. But once we do begin to see expansion, perhaps we move past the election, we will likely see definitive expansion from this range. Let's take a look at the intraday time frame. Right now on an intraday basis, we've seen a nice little push up in overnight trading so far. The previous session, we dropped down, consolidated, dropped, and then bounced back to value. We were expecting some sort of bounce, and since then we've continued higher into and toward 21.58.5. That's going to be an early key level to watch here this morning. Any push into 58.5 or perhaps as high as 61s could be a fade opportunity back toward 21.46.5. Any acceptance beyond 21.60 opens up a move toward the edge of the recent near-term range of 21.72. All right, let's take a look at crude oil. Here's crude oil. Here's a daily time frame of crude oil. In the daily time frame, of course, we've seen a significant rally here in crude. We've seen it push out of this tightly coiled range. We've rallied all the way up toward 50, almost 51s here. And we had a little one-day pullback on Friday, but we held the lows. We held the lows, and then overnight, Sunday evening and here pre-market overnight, we've seen a push below those two-day lows, and now we're aggressively pushing back toward highs. Again, this all implies continued overall strength within crude until we see the edge of a range here. And right now we're at the key level of 50.5. We still have a potential push into the next highest level up, which is 51.65, the top of the key range from before. So we have more strength that we can get to here, more upside targets. 49.20 is the big time level below 49.15. Failure to hold that level would imply more of a pullback, but what I've mentioned before is any pullback in this up move could be a great buying opportunity for a continuation higher. So we'll see how this thing continues to play out, but bulls need to keep price above 49.15. Here's gold futures. Gold finally reached our two targets, our two front-end targets, which were 12.52 to 12.55 and then 12.45. The next one down is going to be 12.08.30. This is the move across the larger distribution. What I mentioned before is if we can't hold 1300, the next high priority target is going to be 12.52, 12.45, and then perhaps all the way as low as 12.08. So right now we continue to see quite a bit of weakness here in gold. The pullbacks so far have been defended by bears. So you can see here we hit 12.45 and bounced, but still a period of lower highs continues to come in as this thing continues to trend overall down. So right now, as long as price remains basically below 12.68, 12.70, we should likely see more weakness. This pullback right now is probably a great selling opportunity. Otherwise, above 12.68 could squeeze this thing back toward 12.79 and 12.90. All right, let's take a look lastly at the NQ. Here's the NQ right here, holding on highs. We had this impulse move down and rally, and since then we've been stuck on highs between 4,800 and 4,900. We have ascending qualities to this range. We have higher highs, higher lows for the most part. And higher lows continue to be the case even if we continue to hold near these horizontal highs. That's all indicative of more strength. Nothing right now is holding the NQ down. Any push through 4,900 could easily squeeze this thing to the next upside targets above, and we can bring out our key levels for those targets as well. Until then, we can have more trading range action from 4,800 to 4,900 and not bat an eye right now. So it could be further chop, but overall, this thing seems poised for more strength unless 4,800 gives way. Failure to hold 4,800 opens up a move all the way back across the previous move, which would be as low as 46.25. On an intraday basis here, looking at the intraday NQ, right now very similar to the ES, been trending higher after we bottomed out Friday. We've been pushing up since Friday afternoon, and then again in overnight trading, after hours trading. So right now we're approaching 48.83, the top of the short-term key range. That'll be important here. Any failure to hold or get beyond 48.90 would imply perhaps a move back to value at 48.59.5. Above 40.90 could squeeze all the way to 49.10 and perhaps beyond. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the new week of trading. Good luck and trade well.